Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. And don't forget that each stock within the Zacks Rank Buy universe is chosen based on how well it matches criteria comprising the four main investing styles: aggressive growth, growth in income, momentum, and value. This time around, we talk about some momentum stocks with Mike Vodicka. Mike is the momentum stock analyst at Zacks.com, and he has brought with him a cadre of stocks to fill us in on, starting with Treehouse Foods, THS, the ticker symbol. And whenever I hear this name, I think of people sitting in a treehouse eating. I don't know why, but
well, it does have to do with eating. I'm not sure if it actually has to do with tree houses or not, but this is a specialty food manufacturer. We talked about a company like this last week, Corp, actually, and this has been an interesting part of the market because these companies have been doing well, and it's really a reflection of what's happening in the consumer environment. A lot of consumers are trading down and going from the name brand and into a lower or a less expensive genre of food here.
Right.
And that's where Treehouse falls. Now we're seeing this show up here. Their most recently reported quarter, their revenue was up 6.6%, which is pretty solid. Now, moving forward, they do have some exposure to commodity prices. That's where a company like this is vulnerable. But I wanted to share a quote from the CEO that I thought was interesting. He said, their margins were negatively affected by rising commodity costs, but the pricing plans put into place during the second quarter will drive margin growth through the end of the year. So they're aggressively attacking these issues.
Specialty foods. I like to refer to them as private label foods.
That's right. Yeah, they say the same thing.
Energy Transfer Equity LP. I guess that's a limited partnership.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I catch on fast to this stuff. ETE is the ticker symbol. You wrote about that stock on the 30th of October. And, all right, Energy Transfer Equity. What kind of an energy company is this?
Well, what Energy Transfer Equity does is they actually own a installation of pipelines that transfer nat gas across the country.
Okay.
It's a fairly large company here, the market cap of $4.4 billion, and this definitely falls under the umbrella of an energy play. And I'm going to talk about two energy companies today. This will be another one, but what's happening now on a larger scale in the economy is just yesterday the Fed lowered their Fed funds rate by 0.5 point. That's going to put pressure on the dollar. As we see more pressure on the dollar, it's going to be expressed in the uptick in commodity prices, and we did see that. We saw a rally in oil yesterday. That's kind of the short-term game here. On a longer-term level, it's a classic supply and demand issue. We're seeing these dynamics show up in these companies' earnings already. This company's most recently reported quarter, their net income came in at $120 million. It was up $30 million from the same period last year. That's a pretty big jump. Now, it's not just a one-time thing here either. The analysts are bullish on this stock as well. The next year estimate, they're projecting 39% growth in earnings. And these stocks have been beaten down a lot, so they have attractive valuations right now. The estimates have some of the estimates have actually ticked higher, and stock price gone down, so that makes it an attractive buy.
All right, when Mike says yesterday, he's actually referring to the 29th of October. And speaking of the 29th of October, on that day you wrote about Matrix Service Company, MTRX. Yes. Ticker symbol, what does this company do?
This is also another energy company like we discussed before, but what they do is they actually provide maintenance service to oil drillers and oil rigs. I wanted to bring up two here. Is just yesterday, Exxon reported a really great quarter. I think their revenue was something like $147 billion.
Yesterday, 29th again, if you're following the calendar.
And their actual income was something like $14 billion. So when you think about a company like Matrix, you got to realize that their business partners are companies that are producing absolutely massive amounts of profit right now. So they have a lot of money to spend, and it's benefiting them, obviously. They just reported on October 2nd, and their revenue was up 16%, and their income was up 50% to $9.5 million. Now going back to the valuation conversation here, again, share price has gone lower, estimates have ticked higher. Their forward PE multiple is only 7.5. That's a great value right there.
All right. Finally, on the 28th of October, you wrote about AXYS Technologies, AXYS, the ticker symbol. Again, I have to ask, what does this company do?
Axsys is a defense company, and they primarily service the federal government. And again, here, this is a little bit more defensive industry because obviously the government's not as elastic as just your general consumer. And they just reported another great quarter too. Their sales were up 43%, and their income doubled to $8 million. And I want to go to another CEO quote once again, real quick here. Their CEO, Stephen Burchard, said that in these uncertain economic times, we are fortunate that our products are largely sold into markets that are not affected by the general economy. So that kind of hits on the issue of elasticity of demand, and that's worked in their favor.
You did say they service the federal government, not they serve as the federal government, right? I just want to clarify that. I was like, what did I miss there?
No, they don't serve as. They sell to the defense sector.
Okay. Do you own any of these stocks that we talked about?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, earnings estimate revisions, are the most powerful force impacting stock prices, and the Zacks rank takes advantage of changes in estimates to help investors become more profitable. And each day on Zacks.com, Zacks rank buy stocks for the various investment strategies are spotlighted. Now, you can read more about these stocks that we talked about here with Mike and stocks that are in the other investment strategies as well by going to Zacks.com and looking in the upper right-hand corner of our homepage and clicking on any one of those categories that you are so inclined to find out more about. And you can find out about the concept of the Zacks rank as well by going to Zacks.com/rank. With Mike Vodicka, I'm Terry Ruffalo.